Hello guys, so yes, it's true. I bought not only the cheapest BMW 130i in the country, this is the cheapest BMW 130i in the world. So first and foremost, how much did I pay for this car? I know you will be all gasping to know. I'm going to let you know later on in the video exactly how much I paid for this thing. It really is not a lot of money at all. Now, for regular viewers of the channel, you may be thinking, BMW 130i, don't you already own a BMW 130i? No, I sold that actually about a month ago or so. I got the money that I wanted for it. And yeah, I saw this on Facebook Marketplace, this BMW 130i here. And I was just thinking that seems way too cheap to be true, but I got in touch. It was at a dealer, someone had part exchanged it, and yeah, they was selling it cheap to get a quick turnaround, and I went and got it. So yeah, I think enough wasting time. I'm going to show you around this car and maybe point out a few things as to why I think it was maybe cheap. So for those of you who know the BMW 1 Series, this is a E87, which it means it is the 5-door hatchback, which is the exact same as my previous BMW 130i, and this is actually a facelift. This is the LCI, so it does come with a few revised parts, mainly to do with the lights and on the interior. I'll show you all that, don't worry. But yeah, quick look around the car. It is in pretty good condition, I'd say. In terms of cosmetically, this is actually in better condition than my previous BMW 130i. It does obviously have the odd stone chip, you know, the odd minor scuff. There is a bit of paint flaking off on the rear bumper there. And then we move around to this side, and you're probably wondering what is all this white stuff. This is just polish. That's because I basically started to give this car a bit of a polish because there is something going on with the paint on this side. It's like the lacquer has oxidized, and it's all yeah, as you can see, it's kind of all white in this area along here. But I did give it a wet sand with some 2000 grit sandpaper, then a good polish, and it does seem to be coming up quite nice. So I think I can get this sorted without having to get any paintwork done. Probably the worst bit in terms of the bodywork is on this driver's side wing here. It's rusted. So it's pretty common on these cars, although mine didn't have any rust at all, but I guess if you don't wash them regularly, salt builds up in here, and yeah, it just rusts away the front wings. Now obviously I have a few options what I can decide to do. I can either just replace the wing for another used one in colour, or I can try and get this repaired. I'm not too sure what I'm going to do with that yet. Let's have a look at the interior then. Interior is very nice in here, barely used at all. With it being a facelift and LCI, the interiors are slightly nicer, a lot more leather and less plastic. But yeah, very clean, very presentable, very tidy in here. Biggest difference between this car and my previous BMW 130i, this is an automatic, so it has the paddle shifters, which I think they work quite well actually. I did drive this car about 100 miles or so home, and yeah, the car seemed to drive pretty much spot on. A few of the little bits that this car has going for it, so it has auto lights, it has auto wipers, already has cruise control, so no need to retrofit that. Obviously dual zone climate control, cup holders. I know you're thinking cup holders, wow, but yeah, there's actually quite a rare option on the BMW 1 Series. Power fold mirrors. I will pop the bonnet just so you can see inside the engine bay. And here's a look at that 3 litre naturally aspirated straight 6 N52 engine. Obviously this being a 2008 is the later version, so it has the black plastic valve cover, slightly different to the previous one that I owned with the silver vanity cover on. That had a magnesium valve cover, but to be honest looks very very tidy in here. I don't know what sort of work it's had done. You know, there is a stack of receipts and service history with this car, but it doesn't look too bad at all in here. I have noticed a bit of oil down here. Now, first thing you would be thinking is the valve cover gasket is leaking. However, the oil is actually coming above that, so I think there's a good chance when someone has tried to top up the oil in this, they've actually missed the oil filler cap and it's leaked down there. I can see it's wet down there, and then it's probably ran down there and ran onto the engine block down there. It doesn't look very wet, but yeah, as I say, it does originate on top of the valve cover. So let's actually have a look inside here, see what it's looking like inside. Yeah, actually doesn't look that bad inside of here, to be honest. Looks quite clean. It could definitely benefit from having a good engine bay clean there, because although I can't see any major leaks or anything, obviously just road grime and dust build up in here, but yeah, very, very clean indeed for a 2008 car. So it also has the optional extra xenon headlights. They were quite a rare option on these cars, so it comes with the pop-up headlight washers as well. And I'll just show you the revised LCI tail lights. I believe these are LEDs. Yeah, a little bit different to the pre-LCI ones. I think this is an optional extra, although it did come on my previous BMW 130i. This is the, I believe it's called the Aero rear spoiler. And yeah, I think these look so much better with this in place. So again, that's another thing going for this car. So then, after showing you and telling you all the good bits about this car, then why was it so cheap, and exactly how much did I pay for this thing? So drum roll please, I paid the grand total of just £1,500. Yes, £1,500. Like I said, that's by far the cheapest I've ever seen in the UK for a BMW 130i, let alone a facelift M Sport 130i. And let me just say, this car only has, you're probably thinking, oh, it's probably got over 200,000 miles. No, it only has, I believe, 98 or 99,000 miles. That's the crazy thing. This is a low mileage car. Like these, most of these have well over 100,000 miles. I sold mine, I think, on about 146,000 miles. Obviously still going strong. These engines are basically bulletproof. But yeah, I got a crazy deal on this car, and I still cannot believe it. But why do I think it was so cheap? Well, I'll show you exactly why. So we'll insert one of the two keys. I believe that's just a service light. Oh no, that could actually be because the MOT is due very soon. Service light is on though. Need to reset the time. But as you can see, mileage just 98,530. Let's fire the engine up. Battery is a little bit on the weak side, need to put it on charge. But as you can see, engine management light is on. Now, what does that mean? Well, it could mean a whole bunch of different things. I bought this car, like I said, from a dealer. He said it had it as a part exchange, so you know, even selling it at £1,500, he probably made a very small profit. Even if he broke even, he still made profit on the car that he sold. But he said his mechanic checked it over and said it needed an O2 sensor, which could be true, to be honest, because at around 100,000 miles, these M52 engines do generally need at least one of the O2 sensors replacing. Now, obviously, I haven't had a chance to scan it yet, but as far as I know, the engine is healthy. It seems to drive absolutely fine. As I said, I've drove this over 100 miles back home. It seems to drive faultless. So yeah, I don't think it's anything major. If I'm being if I'm being completely honest. Now, why do I think the dealer decided to sell it so cheap? Well, if it was a private individual, they would probably swap out the O2 sensor and then sell it, you know, and get, like I said, you know, you could get probably close to £5,000 for this car. However, if you are a dealer, you have to bear in mind that you have to put a warranty on your car. So I think legally now you have to have 3 or 6 months warranty on every car that you sell. Obviously I bought this, you know, as a trade sale, so to speak, as, you know, sold as seen. I knew what I was buying into. So they would have had to fix that problem. They would have probably had to sort out that paintwork, you know, the fact that it's all oxidized. They would have had to give all that a good polish. They would have probably had to fix that wing because that is obviously rusted. You know, you couldn't sell a car, you know, like that to a customer. And then there'd be the few little bits that need doing here and there. And the dealer probably thought, like, you know what, it's not worth doing all those little bits just to get a bit more, just to get a tiny bit more money. So you know, he probably just decided just to, you know, make a very small profit, or to literally just trade it on to someone like me and just basically break even. So yeah, I got a very, very good deal on this car. Like I said, fixed up, you know, it should be fetching at least £5,000, I would imagine. These cars are, you know, they've always been very rare, but I think they are going to go up in value quite a bit over the next couple of years. Obviously, they don't make cars like this anymore. 3-litre naturally aspirated engines. They don't do anything like this anymore. So yeah, these cars I think are going to skyrocket. Now, what are my plans with it? Well, initially I thought I would fix it up and sell it. However, I'm not too sure how I'm feeling. I've driven this car. It does drive really nice. I don't know whether to just keep it as a cheap daily driver. Decisions. I guess you guys will follow along on this journey, and I guess see what I do with this car in the end. Now, in the next video, I'm going to be giving this car a good full scan. I'm going to be going over all of the fault codes, and I'm going to be seeing exactly what is wrong with this car. So do stay tuned for that next video. I want to thank you all for watching. Give this video a like, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you have not already done so, and I will see you all in that next one.